It's time for the exciting adventures of Sky Girl Reporter.
If you've ever seen the movie The Perfect Storm, you know it's about fishermen on a boat who get into a terrible storm and never come home. It's a true story based on the best-selling book by Sebastian Junger. He's an award-winning author of many best-selling books such as Freedom and War. He's also a former war correspondent and a film director whose movies include Conqueror, The Last Patrol, and the Academy Award-nominated Restrepo. His latest book is called In My Time of Dying, where he survived a near-death experience and the impact it had on him. I caught up with him at Warwick's bookstore, where he was promoting his book and talking about his experience. After that, he was kind enough to grant me an interview. Hope you enjoy it! Hey everybody, welcome back to Sky Girl Reporter, and I'm with Sebastian Junger. He's an award-winning journalist and author of the award-winning book The Perfect Storm and his newest book, In My Time of Dying. Let's say hi.
Hi there, nice to meet you.
My first question is, how did you become a journalist?
I became a journalist I wrote a thesis in college on Navajo long-distance runners. I was an anthropology major, and I got out of college. I thought the thesis is probably pretty close to what journalism is, so I started writing for a weekly newspaper in Washington, D.C.
How did you become a war correspondent?
My girlfriend broke up with me. I didn't know what I was going to be doing with my future, and there was a war in Bosnia, and my father grew up in Europe. He was a refugee from 2 wars, and I was curious, and I went to Bosnia.
How did reporting on war affect your writing?
It made me learn how to write very efficiently, because I was trying to keep my reports brief. And so it made me write in a very direct, simple way.
Some people compared you to Hemingway. What's your reaction on that?
Well, I'm very flattered. He's one of my favorite authors. And I think our styles are a little different. But yeah, I'm very honored to be compared to him.
If you could say anything to him, what would you say to him?
I would say, Ernest, thank you for writing your amazing books. I learned an awful lot reading them. And I'm really sorry you had such a painful life.
How did you come to write The Perfect Storm?
I was living in the town of Gloucester, and the storm hit, and a local boat sank. And I just thought I would write about it. I wanted to write about dangerous work.
What were the challenges in writing it?
The challenges were researching something where I couldn't know ultimately what happened because the boat disappeared. So how do I stay true to journalism, but say something meaningful and compelling for readers?
How did you research it?
I talked to a lot of people that survived similar situations, so they were able to say, well, we don't know exactly what happened, but it was probably pretty close to something like this, and so that's how I filled in the gap.
Were you involved in the movie version of it?
A tiny bit. I was on set a couple of times to see what it was like.
Were you impressed in the final version?
Yes, I thought that it was a very good movie.
Can you tell me about the movie you made?
I got a video camera, and I was in combat for off and on for a year with a platoon of American soldiers in eastern Afghanistan, and I made a film called Restrepo, which was the name of the outpost that we were at.
What were the challenges in making it?
Kept getting shot at by the Taliban, and dust would get on the lenses, and living conditions were very hard. And America was already sort of tired of the topic of war, so we didn't know if the movie would be well received.
How did you come to write In My Time of Dying?
Well, I almost died 4 years ago, and I'm a writer, so I would just write about things. So I thought I'm going to write about what happened to me and some of the mysteries around my moments on the threshold.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, I'm an atheist, and yet my dead father appeared above me to welcome me across, and I was not willing to go. And I woke up the next morning shocked that I almost died, and then all my memories came back about what had happened. And I decided to write about what the possible explanations are.
Do you think you have been more spiritual since the experience?
I'm not more spiritual, but I would say I'm probably more thoughtful.
Has anyone talked about your latest book becoming a movie?
People have talked about it, and I'm talking to them about how to do that.
Who would you want to play you?
Oh my God. I don't know my actors very well, so I don't know. I don't know who I would pick. I'm really not sure.
What do you want readers to take away from your book?
that life's a mystery and death is a mystery, and we don't really understand any of it. Religious people think they do, and rationalists also think they do, and I think probably everyone's a little bit wrong.
Is there anything else you want people to know about you?
I love books, I love readers, and I think the communication between authors and readers is an amazing thing, and I'm very, very lucky to have the work that I do.
What's your advice to journalists like me?
I think journalists in the future will have to master video, audio, writing, everything, the internet, and so you're off to a really good start. And just remember, it's a very, very important job. That our society needs information, and you're the one providing it.
Thank you so much. It was amazing talking to you.
Thank you for interviewing me. Good luck with your career.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank everybody at Warwick's Books, and especially Sebastian Junger, for an amazing interview. And I hope to see you next time on Sky Girl Reporter with a new adventure. Bye!